the nozzle glide. Flow rate tight, keep it smooth like a West Coast ride. Bed temp high, adhesion locked in place. Every print I drop, got that Cali style.
Hey guys, what's up? Roger here, and welcome to TenMileCreations. Now, if you find this video useful, do me a favor, give me a like, give me a comment down below. Let me know this is the kind of thing you like, and I can bring more of this to you. So today I'm going to show you how to do this. Create extruded 3D text in your 3D printer. And some important things with one color change. We don't want to do a bunch of color changes. We want it to change color one time and be done with it. And we're going to show you how to make keychains. You can pump these out all day long. They're super simple. I've refined the process down to minimal steps. This isn't necessarily a secret. Lots of people do this. Matter of fact, you can go just about anywhere on the internet and find a keychain kind of like this. The key to it is making them relevant to people that they will want to buy them. That's the important part. Alright, so let's get the ball rolling here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to, in Adobe Illustrator, we're going to create a new file. It really doesn't matter. The size here. We don't care about the size because the size will get modified when we get into Fusion 360, or you can scale it even in your slicer. So the size is completely irrelevant at this point. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to select the type tool, and we're just going to type something out. Let's type let me see, what do we want to do? We'll do dog lover. There we go. Dog lover. Now, we're going to highlight that text, and we're going to change it to some relevant font that we want to use. Make sure you have licensed your fonts. I previously owned a graphic shop, so we licensed a ridiculous amount of fonts because we did signs, we did t-shirts. It was insane. Alright, so let's scroll down. We're just going to find a cool font maybe we want to use. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking for one, but let me see what this one. That one looks alright. So, here is our font that we've created. And it looks like Do Glover. Okay. Are these lowercase? Yeah, okay, it's all one take. Do Glover. Could we? Maybe. I've never actually done that before. I've never actually put a space between those. Let's just go with it. This wouldn't be one that we would necessarily do. You know, just because people will be like, what's a Do Glover? Alright, so let's just move this around. And now we're going to move it around here. So you're going to go up to the type tool, and you're going to say create outlines. Boom. And now we've created all the outlines. We've taken our text and we've turned it into outlines. That's the important thing. Now we want to go up to the object menu, and we want to do compound path make. Alright, and that wiped out all of the color, which is fine with me. I don't care. Now the next thing we'll do is we'll go back up to object, and we'll go to path, and we'll go to offset path. And it's going to ask us how much we want to offset it. Typically I do 0.1 of an inch is my typical offset path. So now I click OK. Alright, so now you can see on the screen we have nothing, which is fine. No big deal. If we click and drag, we can see that now we have our lines and our outside lines. Everything's there that we need. So from this point, we'll go up to File. We'll go to Export, Export As. We're going to choose SVG as our option. And we're going to just name this one Dog. Alright. So we'll click Export. Maybe. Oh. And now we want to do inline style, convert to outlines. Make sure all that's set to that. Click OK. And we're done here. It was that simple. Next step. We're going to go to Fusion 360. I'll go ahead and quit out of Illustrator just to give myself a little bit of headroom, because all of these programs are fairly intensive on your memory. Alright, so next we're going to go to Insert, SVG. We're going to go to our local computer. We're going to choose Dog SVG. We're going to click Open. And then we're going to click on the plane we want to place it. And you can see there is Dog Lover. We're going to go ahead and drag it out. And again, you can pay attention to the size of it here, but you can also just scale it in your slicer. So for the most part, I just hit Finish Sketch, and I'm happy there. Alright, let's rotate this around to my favorite position for extruding. Alright, so now we need to extrude these, the outside and the insides of these letters. So typically, I'm going to select the outside and then the inside of all the letters. If they have holes, like O's and R's. Make sure if you have eyes, you get the right eyes. But this is the background. So we're going to hit E for extrude. I'm going to extrude this 3 millimeters. And then we're going to click OK. We're going to accept that new body. Alright, so then we're going to go back into the sketch, and we're going to turn the sketch back on. We're going to edit the sketch one more time. And I don't even think we have to edit. Let me see something. Because I don't think we have to edit the sketch. We just do have to make the sketch visible. Right, so now it's not visible, so let's just click that eyeball. And we're going to make our sketch visible. Yeah, we don't even have to edit it. And we're going to go through and select all the text that represents the inside. Again, press E. This time we're going to choose 5 millimeters. And we're going to choose Join and click OK. So now we have our Dog Lover extrusion. We go ahead and shut that sketch back off. That way we can get it out of our way. Now the next important thing is that we need some way to connect it to our keys. Right? That's important. We need to be able to connect it to our keys. So I'm going to create a new sketch, and I'm going to do it on that exact same plane. And I'm going to create a circle, and whatever I want my hole to be, I want to do about double that. So I'll give you an example. So I'm going to make a circle that's 16 millimeters. Or was it 16? Yeah. Why did I put 18? 16 millimeters, and then I'll confirm that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Now I'm going to make another one, and we're going to make that one 8 millimeters. So we'll type 8, and then we'll click enter, and then we'll hit escape because we're done with that sketch. And now we want to move that sketch over here to our dog thing, and I want to put the center point of the circle right on the line of the keychain. Just put it right there on the line somewhere and click away. There we go. So now we'll rotate it around. We're on that same base, so we're going to click this, which is the part we want to extrude. We're going to hit E on our keyboard and extrude it the exact same amount we did the base, which would be 3. Now by default it chooses cut because it sees that we're moving through another design. We don't want to do that. We actually want to click join, and then we'll click OK. Now we have our loop, which because it's half of the original design, remember the original hole was 8 millimeters, that makes that one 4 millimeters, which is big enough for you to put just about any keychain loop through. So there we go. We are done here. So next step is to export this out of Fusion 360 into Bambu Studio. So we're going to go up to the save menu. We're going to say export for 3D print. We're going to click on our body. We're going to make sure that the refinement settings are set to high, and they are. So we're going to click OK, and we'll call this Do Glover. This is why this isn't a good product, but we'll click save. All right, so now we're good. We're done there, right? We're going to go to Bambu Studio next, and we open our Do Glover project. Now, technically, if it's just on your desktop, you can double click because we saved it as a 3MF. I don't know if I pointed that out. We don't save it as an STL out of Fusion 360. We actually save it as a 3MF. And then you just find it on your desktop and double click it, and boom, you are good to go. Now we have to paint it. Now we have to make it the colors we want it to be. So let's say we want to do black and brown. Probably not anybody wants to do that. Let's do brown and tan. All right. So we're going to set it to our base color. Boom, brown. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the paint bucket, and we're going to use the height range, and we're going to set it to 4, which is our tan color. Now we're going to rotate this slightly so we can see that edge, because here's an important factor we don't want to do is we don't want to make our text tan all the way through, because then it would print a layer, then would switch to the tan and would print that layer, and it would just do it continuously, and it's a real pain. So when we do it by height range, what we can do is click on the surface, and then we can drag down, and we don't want to go all the way down. You can see I've left just a little gap of that brown. We just want to leave a little gap of that brown to be, and we see right there, there's just a tiny little gap that is the brown, and then we're going to click off, and we're done. So now we have our dog lover. Technically, we don't need this back here. We don't even need this guy because we're only doing one color change. So if we hit slice plate, what we'll see is as it develops, you can see it develops, it's building up, it's building up, it's building up, it's building up. And then all of a sudden, even though it has started the text, a couple of layers have started the text, then it does a color change, and then it finishes out. Right, so we're not doing multiple color changes, we're only doing one. You could enable ironing if you want things to look nice and finished. You can go down to ironing, and you can say topmost surfaces, slice that plate again, and then that's going to create that nice smooth top surface on there, which makes it not look necessarily 3D printed to your clients. So we're good to go. After this, we can print this, or we can save it as a 3MF in our system, and now anytime we sell a dog lover keychain, all we need to do is double click the file and click print. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope that was simple enough to follow along. If not, obviously go back through and follow along, but that is the simplest way I have found to make keychains or extruded text, period. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Later.